And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone to Shechem to make him king. And it was when Jeroboam the son of Nebat heard of this, when he was yet in Egypt, where he had fled from the presence of King Solomon, and Jeroboam had settled in Egypt. They sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke hard. Now you lighten your father's hard work and his heavy yoke which he placed upon us, and we shall serve you. He said to them, Go away for 3 days, then return again to me. And the people departed, and King Rehoboam took counsel with the elders who had attended Solomon his father while he was yet alive, saying, What counsel do you give me to reply to this people? And they spoke to him, saying, If you will be a servant to this people today, and you will minister to them, and you will respond to them, and speak kind words to them, and they will be your servants for all times. But he disregarded the counsel of the elders who advised him, and he took counsel with the young men who had grown up with him, who were attending him. And he said to them, What do you advise that we reply to this people who have spoken to me, saying, Lighten the burden which your father has placed upon us? And the young man that had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, So shall you say to this people who have spoken to you, saying, Your father has made our yoke heavy, and you make it lighter for us. Thus shall you speak to them, My little finger is thicker than my father's loins. And now, where my father did burden you with a heavy yoke, I shall add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I will flog you with scorpions. Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the 3rd day, as the king had spoken, saying, Return to me on the 3rd day. The king replied to the people harshly. He disregarded the counsel of the elders which they had advised him. He spoke to them as the counsel of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, and I shall add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, and I shall flog you with scorpions. The king did not listen to the people, for it was something brought about by the Lord, in order to fulfill his word that the Lord had spoken through Ahijah the Shilonite to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. And all of Israel saw that the king did not listen to them, and they replied to the king, saying, What share do we have in David, and no heritage in Jesse's son? To your homes, O Israel, now see your house, David. The Israelites went to their homes. As regards the children of Israel who dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam ruled over them. King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was in charge of the tax, and all of Israel pelted him with stones, and he died. And King Rehoboam exerted himself to get up into his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel revolted against the house of David until this day. And it came to be, when all of Israel heard that Jeroboam had returned, that they sent and called him to the assembly. And they made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David except the tribe of Judah alone. Rehoboam came to Jerusalem, and he assembled all the house of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen warriors to wage war with the house of Israel, to return the kingdom to Rehoboam the son of Solomon. The word of God was to Shemaiah the man of God, saying, Speak to Rehoboam the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and to all of the house of Judah and Benjamin, and the rest of the people, saying, Thus said the Lord, You shall not go up, you shall not war with your brothers, the children of Israel. Return each man to his home, for this thing has been brought about by me. And they heeded the word of the Lord, and they heeded the word of the Lord, and they returned to go home in accordance with the word of the Lord. Jeroboam built Shechem in the mountain of Ephraim and lived there. And he went from there and built the city of Penuel. Jeroboam then said to himself, Now kingdom may return to the house of David. When this people goes up to offer sacrifices in the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem, the hearts of this people will turn to their master, to Rehoboam the king of Judah, and they shall kill me and return to Rehoboam the king of Judah. the king took counsel and made 2 golden calves, and he said to them, saying, It is far from you to go to Jerusalem. Here are your gods, O Israel, that have brought you up from the land of Egypt. And he placed one in Bethel, and the other he placed in Dan. This thing became a sin, and the people went before the one even until Dan. And he made the house of high places, the house of altars, and he made priests of some of the people who were not of the sons of Levi. And Jeroboam made a festival in the 8th month on the 15th day of the month, like the festival which was in Judah, and he brought up offerings on the altar. So he did in Bethel to slaughter the calves which he had made, and he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made. And he brought up offerings on the altar which he had made in Bethel on the 15th day of the 8th month, in the month that he had fabricated from his heart. And he made a festival for the children of Israel, and he went up to the altar to burn the incense.